And sweet. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the ChickW Gbid meeting, December 12th, or sorry, December 10th, 2020. As you can see, you go to Discord, you can see like this little video. If you just click on my icon or whatever, make sure you guys have that. If you can't see that, you can follow along via this Google Doc I just made. And it just has a couple points outlined right for this that I'm just going to go over pretty briefly, and then I'm going to probably go a little more extensively, talking about with tanks and healers specifically about maybe a couple fights, right? So first of all, this is a ChickW. If you guys don't know what a ChickW is, it's the emote that somebody in my guild made of me because they found this picture of me, right? Pretty cool, right? Anyway, just so you know, that's what a ChickW is. It can mean anything, whatever, right? Anyway. Why is this Gbid happening, right? Why? I love TL, but raiding late kind of sucks. I kind of want an earlier raid, right? It's like 7 p.m. But another thing is they like to play World of Warcraft, right? So no bears. So I'm not exactly a fan of them not being a fan of me, right? About bears. They like me, but bears suck, right? And also I want Adiesh, right? That's why I'm kind of having this raid to begin with. I guess another question is why a Gbid? Because I could run like a thing like a soft reserve, but generally with the Gbid, people like to stay the whole time. I can get more people outside the guild, and of course there's loot incentive, and there's just I feel like there's more incentives for people to want to be here, like especially compared to soft reserve, where generally with soft reserve, you can't finish the whole raid. Soft reserve sucks. That hasn't been an issue before now, but here we are. And plus you don't have to deal with loot council, so gold is the best loot council ever in this. So any gold bid details we have, right, is the only thing being reserved is the Achiesh. Because of this, I don't have a cut, by the way. I'm foregoing my cut completely. I guess I'll talk about more later. But basically, I want you guys to kind of be here, and I don't want to like also take a cut on top of basically this, because some people would pay for an Achiesh, quite a bit of gold actually. I do want this raid, to succeed though, right? I want to be successful. With more bosses, we get more loot, which gets everybody more gold, and gets better gear for all you guys, which probably also means, more bosses, which means more shards, which also means more gold, and it's, profit, right? Question mark, right? So that's that. Number one, it's gonna be an even split. Everyone needs to pull their weight. If they want to down bosses, we just need everyone to pull their weight. I'm not really considering any only buyers at this time. I'm kind of looking for players that are skilled or, not exactly well geared, right? Or, pumpers, right? Right now, I'm actually pretty confident in the roster we have, looking at it. And if, let's say in the future, that were to change, people definitely seem to be really wanting into this, and I hope I can keep people that are good as well into this. And I probably give more of an incentive to people that have been here longer, if that ever came an issue with rosters. But right now, it's a little tight. But yeah. So number two, I did say I am forgoing my split because I want to be able to help you guys. Blah 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 blah. And I'm here mostly for Achiesh, and I'm not really here for gold. Not that I'm still gonna bid on items and stuff, right? But that's how that is. So that might help toward total gold count. Number three, there's gonna be a 5% cut, and what this cut's actually going to go to is people who flask in the raid. Now, I'm not actually requiring everybody to flask in this raid. I actually will probably be doing something with tanks. Tanks probably will have to flask, especially if they want to get over patchwork. But the thing is, some classes don't really need a flask, like rogues, hunters. Depending on the fight we might have you in the future, but it's gonna be like probably like Saffron if that's a thing people want to do. But generally, at the moment, I'm not requiring flasks. If you're a healer and you want to bring a flask to Distilled Wisdom, it's great. If you want a tank or DPS, you want to bring your flasks, there's going to be a small compensation for you. Right now it's 5% cut. I don't know if this will work out in the long term, if we could just get rid of this or maybe put more, right? At the moment, I just want to try this out and help out people who flask. Also, just for that thing, sake of talking about healers, if you're not using things like dark runes, demonic runes, but you're using a flask, you're doing it wrong. Please, especially for certain fights where we're really sensitive, like such as patchwork, please bring demonic runes. I know that's a pain in the ass to farm, but it's pretty much necessary to get the raid down. Number 3.5, I actually had to fit this one in the middle of it. Doing loot after I'm doing loot after every wing or every hour and a half, depending on which comes first. I don't want the loot to force expire, so that's definitely, we want to get it out, right? So we don't want to, lose that trade. Also, we're going to be taking a short break at about the 2-hour mark. Maybe like 5-10 minutes. It depends on how things go. It is going to be a 4-hour raid. And basically just a bathroom food break. Please get everything in order before your raid. Like, there's going to be, you have all day to get ready, and like maybe get like a couple hot pockets, or I don't know, your poop sock ready. I don't know, whatever you got to do, you do it, right? Just be ready for that. Also, flasking may differ for progression on tanks. That's what I guess I skipped on that, but it may differ for tanks, which I might help. We'll see how that goes. An even split. I think did I go over this twice? Oh, I'm going to be looking at logs and effort. So I don't really feel like I'm going to cut anybody at all for this kind of thing. But if I really see someone like if we're not killing stuff and there's a bit of an issue with maybe a player or two not pulling their weight or not consuming, I may not invite you back. Just that'll probably be the way to the punishment if that was to be a thing. If that was the case. If I see, you are putting in effort, but things are going wrong. Let's say you're dying by first because of some mechanic. It probably won't count against you, but it's a raid. Shit happens, right? Also, another thing I'm telling everybody to bring full consumes. So, like, flask is optional, but I'm talking things like Rumsy Rums, Elixir of Fortitudes, whatever your class consumes are, right? These are probably more pertinent to you. If you have any questions about that particularly, you can message me, and I can make sure you know what you need to have in order. But I'm assuming most of these guys are alts, so you kind of already know what's expected. And world buffs. Now, I personally don't love the world buff meta, but at the moment, this is a Gbid. We're trying to get the stuff down, and the biggest thing I'm worried about is patchwork. And if we can get over patchwork, the whole wing is free, essentially. And I'm assuming most of the time in this instance, we're not going to have world buffs. So be ready for that, because that's, we're going to be raiding 4 hours. At least 2 of it, we're not going to have world buffs. So if we wipe on something, we're definitely not going to have world buffs, right? And we're going to have to just deal with that. I think playing without world buffs is pretty fun, to be honest. But we're going to require that. I do offer world buffs in this Discord. It's buff fillet. This is the thing. If you're in this raid for your character, I do offer half off. I still have to pay the other people that help run buff fillet their share, but I'm eating all that cost for you guys to make it a little easier for you. If you guys don't know about that, just please check out the Discord, read everything through. I just try to make it very nice and easy for you to all get world buffs in basically an hour. It's pending Songflower and Oni Rens. Also, in the future, if you want to help out, get Oni, Rens, ZG Hearts, or supply those, I can buy those from you. Please reach out to me. The plans at the moment. So number 1, kind of a simple thing. Just invites for the raid will go out at 6 p.m. And I will have summons go out for that time. If you're not in the raid or contacted me by 6:30, I'm going to try to message you and find a replacement. If you don't message me back ASAP, I'm probably just going to find a replacement. I guess this happens very often in Gbids where you have to find replacements just like that. And it's very nice to have backups, and I'm really appreciative of anybody who is a backup for this raid. Speaking of backups, I'm not going to really require backups to have world buffs, considering they might, it might be kind of a hassle for them. They're very appreciative, right? Maybe there's something I can do. Of course, you're welcome to buff fillet train, right? But generally, I'm not going to completely require you to have that as a backup. But I'm probably going to be making sure the people that are coming, they're coming, right? Probably mostly Saturday to be working on talking to most individuals. Going into it, I want to do the very best we can, right? Into the actual raid. I want to go full world buffed and ready to pop down patchwork. If we can get through him, we can get through the whole wing. Generally, I want to take trash very easy we're being pretty conservative. I don't want people ass pulling. I don't want people jumping in front of me. I don't want rogues stealth ahead. I don't want any of that bullshit, right? I want to just get through everything individually at a time. We get to Patrick, we kill him, and then we can have a good old time in Naxxramas and just get it down, right? I want it to be a fun experience. I don't want it to be like me in people's asses the whole time and yelling. I don't want any of that, right? I just want to have a fun experience in Naxx and get everybody some loot and some gold, right? So a couple of things. A short-term plan. It's 4-hour raid, right? I don't think we're gonna change that really. If patchwork is possible, then we could potentially beat like pretty much all the bosses except for Lotheb 4 Horsemen. That's like, is that 10? 10 out of 15? That's pretty good. That's a short-term possibility, I think. If we can get down patchwork. If we can't get down patchwork, like for example, we go to that raid and something bullshit happens, we wipe, and we can't get him down for like 4 attempts, we're gonna go to Spiderwing, and we're gonna go to the other few wings and get those bosses down, get as much as we can down generally, and then try patchwork again the next week. But this is kind of the plan for now. The midterm plan. So if plan 3 goes pretty well, if something goes well, we'll look at Lotheb 4 Horsemen. Probably Lotheb first for sure. I'll let you know ahead of time to bring consumes trinkets, right? So right now you probably don't have to bring like a shit ton of discombobulator rays or greater shadow protection potions, because they're like 20 gold each right now. That's a gold sink. I don't want people to feel like they're not making gold in this raid, right? That would really suck, and it's not really worth it at that point. But we're gonna do plenty of attempts on that when we do try that, if we get to that point, to learn it without consumes at all, except for the tank, of course. And then when we think we are ready for the actual fight, we'll go in. I'll let you guys know ahead of time. We'll have consumes ready, and we'll get the boss down. There's a couple fight things in here, specifics I can go over for the future. But there's a couple awesome strats I've been reading on Lotheb lately. I'm sure you guys may have heard them, but I'll definitely have future meetings in the future when we have some more of this stuff down. Long term, I do want to eventually down Saphiron and Kel'Thuzad in this raid. I would have to be comfortable with everything else before that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But at the moment, I'm focused only on one boss at a time, especially the fact that we haven't even entered. Not only is Saf and KT just going to be super cool fight to do, but I feel like, of course, the rewards from them is ridiculous. It's so good. When we get to that point, if we get to that point, we'll maybe consider longer raid. Don't know, but we'll figure that out. If people don't want to do that, then they don't want to do that. But if people want to get that down, we'll figure that out, right? Also, please take your time and look into these assignments. I have them posted. I'm going to post them again in this Gbid general chat, right? And I'm actually going to go over a couple of these assignments now. So make sure... I have to get this looking better. Let's see here. Second. Does anyone have any questions while we're here? While we're talking about this the sheet we just had?
Yeah, quick question.
Yeah,
I saw on the sheets you had Flask of Titans for everyone, but is it cool if healers use Distilled Wisdom instead?
Yeah, absolutely. So I gotta be honest, with that sheet that I had before, I did get that was a copy of the other sheet, right? And that's like a lot of raids actually want Flask of Titans, especially for things like Saphiron. It's actually really good. Like even healers want Flask of Titans. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, that's completely fine if you want to have a flask of Distilled Wisdom instead. I do it applies to you. It's not actually required. It's not a hard requirement. It's a suggestion, and yeah. Anything else regarding Flask of Distilled Wisdom, Titans, any consumables that are actually looking at? Okay, good. So as we see here, I have this awesome spreadsheet. That's one thing TL's really good at is spreadsheets, right? There's all this cool stuff. Woo! And anyway, I just want to go over a couple assignments. And so you can go through here yourself and look at, your player and you can see that what your assignment would be. So if you're a healer, you can see who your healing assignment is, right? For example, it has things like Twerk Bite is healing Tripwire, Psalm is healing Chick-fil-A, you know, this, and that, whatever. And then we also have boss fights, right? So if I go to here, I can go to these packs, right? It tells me who's doing what, who's on what, who's tanking who, for example, right? And then patchwork. I could update this maybe one more healer, and then we also have a Shadow Priest who can heal, which I might just have him do, because I'm extremely worried about patchwork. And this is kind of what most of the meeting might take up the rest of. I'm not sure how much longer. We've gone for like 15 minutes, so it's going to be just a little bit longer, right? I'm worried, first of all, we're going to get the patchwork. I want to get hit to him without any problems, without any wipes. So stay behind me, please. This monstrosity pack we're going to have. I think all the mages and hunters cast aim shot and pyroblast on him right away, and then kill him before his elemental thing drops. It's not going to be that bad. And during the raid, I'm going to be talking the whole time constantly, so just listen up and pay attention. Hopefully we'll get through there very smoothly. For patchwork, though, we actually going to have something kind of interesting. So there's a buff called Razorhide, and what that is from Camp T. What we're going to have is all of the tanks are going to have set their Hearthstone to Camp T, and when we get to patchwork, we clear the trash up to them. All the tanks, they're going to Hearth, and they're going to get the buff Razorhide. And then we're going to get summoned back. We'll get it organized and fixed out however way, right? We're going to get summoned back to the raid. It gives 25% armor, and that stacks basically everything. It's ridiculous, right? And this is on top of world buffs, top of DMF. This is kind of our snake of the hole to make sure we try to get this down in one attempt. And we have 3 healers on the main tank, 4 healers on the second tank. So I'm assuming, because I'm a druid, I am best in slot, I'm probably going to have more health than anybody else in that whole thing. So I'll probably be the first Hateful Strike tank. So I'm going to have 4 healers on me. And then I'm going to have 3 healers on Receipts and 3 healers on Polydizzle. Now, I know the third Hateful, it may not even happen, right? But we don't really know if Receipts or Polydizzle is going to be the second Hateful. Or even if I'm the first Hateful, right? We're just going to have these assignments, hardcore here. If you might see, we might have to call it out mid-raid, but like, yeah, if you're, let's say Polydizzle isn't going to be hateful at all, yeah, it probably is fine for you just to heal someone else. But generally, we don't want tanks to die. Just heal the fuck out of your tanks, and then pop demonic runes, pop major manas. This is the most healer-sensitive fight. And also, tanks are going to be in full... These 3 tanks right here are going to be in full mitigation, and Tripwire will be main tanking it with... just going as hard as possible. DPS also should be wary that they should stay below 4 threat. So I guess it is, hopefully these tanks are all getting Hateful Strike, right? So they can keep up in threat. So the 4th DPS isn't like some Fury Warrior that just dies.
Yeah, Chick. If warriors do get above the tanks, they can just dip their toes in the river.
Yeah. That's a good point. So if warriors do get below tanks, they just go in the river, and then get an HP. Healers should not be healing anybody except for the tanks. On top of that, Warlocks, just go crazy with your drain life. DPS should be going absolutely nuts as hard as they can. But watch your threat meter. This is going to be very threat sensitive at the very beginning. Hopefully we can get some rage off of some rats. I know there's a strategy you can like fear a rat, and then like as he's running back and evading, you can get rage off them. Something weird like that. Anyway, we're going to be going hard as we can on this fight. As hard as possible. Does anyone have any comments about patchwork?
I have a lot of comments.
Just, I know you guys had like a thing last night with Got Any Grapes. But generally, I think this is how it's gonna be right now. We might strip the healing assignments just to make sure, you know, if there's a better healer that can be on a different tank, or we can sort of Bernie Sanders all the healers, right? But these seem pretty good, generally. Please don't skip on the consumes for this fight. If this fight goes well, and like we wipe on... If this fight goes well, I'll be so happy. I wouldn't care if we wiped on trash later. We're going to have everything down. Guaranteed. This is all I've been working up to. If we wipe on it, we'll just try our best. I'm not going to proceed.
The tank that takes the least damage is the main tank that's getting hit by patchwork.
Yeah.
Also, we had the shaman's chain hill off the main tank.
Yeah,
they had their tier 2 ship.
Oh, isn't it 8 out of 8 tier 1 or something like that? I guess I'm gonna have to get a couple
Yeah,
of healers
tier
together.
1.
I'll have to get a couple of the healers together to make sure they talk to each other about what their plan is. But hopefully, people are min-maxing on their own. While we're talking about like healing and buffs and debuffs, generally I will allow like any heal. I'm probably not gonna have rejuve for this fight. If tanks should probably have like make sure they get rid of rejuvenation and renew, but actually maybe not renew. But we're gonna be worried about pushing off debuffs. Maybe get rid of some of your more offensive. Actually, I guess you don't want to get rid of offensive cooldowns. I don't know. Just be mindful, tanks. It's gonna be mostly on the tanks, not to get their world buffs pushed off, because if the ZG like falls off, that's gonna be like detrimental, right?
Yeah. Also,
go ahead.
Also at the beginning, that's when the tanks die the most. Is like 5 seconds into the fight.
Yeah.
Most thing you want to do is pop last stand as soon as you go into the fight to make sure you stay alive.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense. I guess that's a good idea. How long is the cooldown on last stand? I don't play a warrior.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay, we'll consider that. Maybe warriors get ready to pop cooldowns on the get go, but healers, you should actually just be pumping heals into the warrior on entrance. By the way, at Patchwork, all the warriors should be using a blood rage and battle shout, and like of course Al Fae for the boss. Make sure you're all on the aggro table. So. And also, all of the tanks are gonna hold off for at least 2 seconds before a tripwire gets a good threat, like decent, like it's on him, so it's not gonna hateful strike him and then kill him, and then he's gonna just straight up kill tripwire. We don't want that to happen, right? We don't want it to hateful him. That would be unfortunate. That'd be the worst way to start a fight. But maybe he should be ready to pop some cooldowns on entry. Probably also have shields on the entry. Everybody, including tripwire, and then. The fourth tank might be fine to actually go dual wield. I might yell out to people, the tanks, go dual wield right now.
No.
Well, the thing is,
if you go dual wield, you die immediately.
I suppose you're right.
I got hit for 14k.
I guess
damage that shield.
DPS are just gonna have to throttle a little bit. That's probably what's gonna happen. That's fine because they have ways around it, right? So, yeah. We talked a lot about Patchwork. I'll probably be talking more about him very soon, but this is my main concern. Other than that, we're gonna be there's not too much in this actually. There's not even like assignments for like Gluth or Globulus, but pretty straight up. I'll probably just call out what's going on. We'll have regular healing assignments. And we'll see how it's going on. For Gluth, for sure, Warrior has to tank it, so probably have Tripwire tanking it. And we'll have a rotation of trank shots on entry, but I want this to be a good clean entry as well.
Also,
go ahead.
Sorry, my bad. I just wanted to say one more thing. Someone needs to have advanced demo shout or Patchwork.
Okay.
It takes off 2k damage.
Okay, so someone has to be spec'd into that.
Yes.
Is that a normal thing?
That is a normal thing. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just hit some people up, make sure they have that. Okay, cool. And then
it deviates to 2k damage. So.
Yeah, and I'll ask hunters if they can bring a hawk because they can do a screech. So that's also pretty good. We're not going to do Curse of Weakness. I guess it's a meme. I was actually looking into that, but I guess Curse of Weakness is a meme. And Curse of Reckless doesn't actually increase Hateful Strikes damage. So it only increases damage does to like basically the main tank. You get a lot more out of it by reducing his armor, so you can kill the fight faster. So, yeah. But maybe I'm completely wrong there. If someone wants to correct me in the future, please do so. Thaddeus, I guess this is the other kind of fight here. We actually, if there's ever an issue, range DPS casters on the left. Is that left? Left? Yeah.
Right for melee, left for casters.
Yeah, right for melee, left for casters. Make sure they die at the same time. Make sure they're tanked to the right spot. And then, of course, we're gonna have the negative and positive. If you're negative, go left. If you're positive, go right. You're just gonna run through the boss. Hopefully, we get this down in one attempt. If we don't, then we'll go through it again. I honestly feel pretty confident in this. If we can get it down in a few attempts, it'd be great. But generally. Another thing is with this fight, when the fight's over, so if we get done with the fight, congrats, right? When the fight's over, there's a little bit of a time where he will when his debuff goes away, the electronic pulse, it'll do like damage to everybody around you. So we want to spread out. Or the other option is if we have enough time, like if it's longer than 20 seconds, how long we have, you can log out. And it'll go away while you're logged out. So you log out for like 45 seconds and you log back in. That's pretty cool. But we'll call it out when we kill the boss, right? But just plan right now to spread out.
There's also a bug at the end of the boss after you kill him.
What's the bug?
So the bug is once you run out of the debuff, if anyone's 10 yards from you with the same debuff as it, they will die. And it will chain.
The mechanic still has that. The same debuff or the different debuff? Like
the same.
That makes yeah, like that's so basically what happens is I'll explain it's not really a bug. It's just how the mechanic it is when it drops.
I don't know if it's a bug.
It's not a bug.
Yeah.
They have to be. That's why you see runs. Everyone's spreading the fuck out, right? That's what I'm saying. Everybody when it's dead, everyone needs to spread the fuck out. And then, if the thing is, if it's longer than 20 seconds, everybody can just actually log out. They can just hit /camp, and then it'll go away while you're logged out. It's actually pretty OP. But generally, also with loot, just stay away from the boss and loot. Also, I guess I didn't put this out there, but I guess it's kind of the frozen runes. They're not reserved, so I'm going to be grabbing all of them, and then we're going to be doing a bid on them at the end of that. So if you're like, a guild master or you know somebody that like, we're going to do a big bid on everything, on all the like the BOE craftable bullshit, and frozen runes will probably be one of them. And that will go toward the pool, of course, which is pretty cool. Trying to think of anything else. There's quite a bit to go over here, but I'm just gonna go over a couple other things that we're probably likely to see. We're likely to go see the Stalker packs and Anubra packs. Make sure the Stalker packs, everything should be faced away from the raid. Like, if you don't face shit away from the raid, you're probably gonna die. Also, don't pull two things. Everyone needs to stay back. We're probably gonna have a hunter pull pretty much everything in case he has to feign death. And I'll be trying to mark everything, so if you're worried about marking stuff, let me mark it. Don't worry about that. Anubra Khan. This fight's pretty much a joke, but as you may know, make sure you bring maybe a lip, or if you're a class that can slow fall, you can slow fall, but if you get knocked up in the air, you can just pop a lip. Other than that, you kill the ads in this fight. If you don't kill the boss before his mechanic, you have to run around the room real fast. I'll probably be tanking him, so I'll be running around as fast as possible. In cat form, not that big of a deal. Honestly, this fight's a joke. Then we go to the next trash packs. I think these are like the big ones. I'm gonna have basically all the tanks are gonna be on some kind of assignment here. We're gonna having a hunter pull way back into the other room. I'm really kind of worried because I saw our main raid die to this because they pulled two trash packs at the same time, and I just want to be very careful about that. That's actually, I think it's the widow trash. So yeah, and then the Fairlina. We're gonna have. Oh, we're missing a lot of stuff here. Fairlina, we're gonna have, probably one priest. I need to talk to priest. What priest wants to do this? But probably one priest focused on doing the mind control for this fight, and we'll probably do more of a reactive strategy than a proactive strategy, which is basically every 25% we're just going to silence her, and that makes so she can't enrage for 30 seconds. If you do it reactively, she'll get really big, and then we have to worry about, healing the tank and dealing with that. But she can't enrage for 60 seconds. So we might play around with that a little bit, but at the moment, if it's the DPS is possible, make sure we're just going to do that strategy is a proactive approach. And then going into Maxna, I guess we don't have assignments here for next Maxna. Oops, that's my Spotify. We don't have assignments here for Maxna, but we're probably going to have Tripwire be tanking this, right? All the range DPS need to worry about getting people out of the cocoons, and also we need to worry about AoEing all the mobs down, so that's going to be another thing too. But the big thing is throwing on big hots on the tank when he makes sure he has a shield on every single web wrap. We're not going to do any cheese strats with that. There is a bunch, but we're just going to worry about the actual strat because it's the easiest one. I don't think this boss is too big of a problem. If we wipe on this a couple times, it's probably just we'll learn it. We can get it down, especially if we get down patchwork. We can definitely do this. We're gonna have a warrior on this for sure because when she hits 30%, warrior needs to pop some cooldowns right at 30%, and then when the web wrap comes, needs to pop a shield wall before reactively, right, or proactively. So we're gonna save shield wall for that. Going into Plague Quarter though, I'm not too concerned with the trash. We do need to watch out for the not the ghouls. I have the gauntlet here. Just the biggest thing is about this trash is that we need to worry about the gargoyles, and there's 2 of them. They have like an AoE spray. I'm sure you guys know much about them. Kill one at a time. So there's 2 of them. Kill one as fast as possible and kill the other one, and then wait until the debuff falls off before you move forward. This kind of goes reactively. Is please do not go too forward, right? Okay. Let's see here. And then if we get to that, we'll get to Noth. I think Noth's really easy. I don't even know like why we have assignments here. Do we even need assignments? I have to see what people actually do with this because I was kind of ignoring this boss, to be honest.
Literally decurse and you win.
Yeah, decurse and win. Yeah, so that's gonna be. We have 6 mages and 3 druids. I'm a druid as well, so I can also decurse. But we're gonna have 6 mages and 3 druids. Oh. And we'll probably just fine on this fight. The gauntlet. If we get, go ahead. Sorry about that.
One thing you do need to know: the skeletons and the mages that come out in the waves, they can be stunned. So you can have rogue assignments to stun those. They don't do raid damage as much.
Cool. Sounds good. With the gauntlet, we're gonna be going in here. Everyone needs to dismiss their pets. Please, no pets at all. And then don't drop a totem. It's a bad idea. Basically, we're gonna have to like kind of drudge through this, go to like one small corner, and then go to a corner right before the boss, and basically try to mana up. Hopefully, nobody dies. And then we're gonna mana up before the fight, and we're gonna go into the safety dance. We're gonna see who's taking it. It's probably gonna be me taking it generally. I'm wanting to just do it the normal way. I guess there's like a cheese trap. I'm not too worried about it. I kind of actually expect to wipe on this. Because, to be honest, I guess doing the safety dance is kind of hard. It's a lot harder than you think. But hopefully people will kind of bring their A game and hopefully can get over this. Or if, for example, we're crushing it. We have full world buffs. We can probably kill him before the fast safety dance. But the one thing I want to say about Hygen the Unclean is that, number 1, the melee should not be in front of the boss because you don't want to parry haste and kill the tank for some random reason. And then on second thing is if you get teleported to the other room, hug the right side, kill the small worms if you're ranged. If you're melee, it's going to suck walking through this, but do your best to get through because some people are just going to get cucked and died, but hopefully you have a healer or a mage or something like that you get through. But also watch the room when you get in because you don't want to get you don't want to walk in a dance is going on and you just get killed anyway. I guess something would help for that fight is maybe greater nature protection potion, but you're most likely to get hit.
Doesn't work.
Oh, it doesn't help. Yeah, you're probably just gonna die if you don't have like a flask or a tank. So just be very careful on the dance. Okay. I know leeway.
The dance isn't actually the issue.
What's the issue?
The issue is people dying in the gauntlet.
Yeah,
like the gauntlet during the boss. That's the issue.
Yeah. Is there a way just like around like doing that or just killing the boss fast?
All you have to do is get the 3 people that can teleport to work together. They don't work together, they all 3 die.
Okay.
And most of the time they don't work together.
Okay.
We had like a 90% like deaths inside the gauntlet.
Okay. So maybe we'll have to have something for that. Maybe an actual thing. But there's a gauntlet here. That's a different gauntlet. Right now I'm gonna be skipping over Loatheb. I do have like a heal order for this and any backups, and of course we're gonna have a couple other awesome things you could use. We have greater shadow protection potions, another one, a bandage, a health stone, another shadow protection potions, bandages, right? We have all this awesome stuff. What group goes into what spore group we're gonna be marking you, right? Pretty freaking cool stuff. However, we're not worried about Loatheb right now because the amount it consumes is going to take at the moment. So don't bother bringing these consumables at the moment. But if it seems pretty possible in the future, I definitely want to go do Loatheb. Going into here, trash can take a long time. We're going to be going into the Death Knight quarter. And lots of trash. I'm not so sure. Like, I guess there's some trash. Like, there's some ghosts that chase you, which is really awkward. I saw a bug with that too. Like, a ghost wouldn't stop spawning. So just make sure you're just watching these kind of mechanics. I'm actually not sure if there's anything to worry about for trash here. Does anyone have anything to talk about? Trash up to
What trash?
Vesuvius.
I'm sorry.
Trash up to Vesuvius.
Oh, there's a lot.
There's
There's
just
a
too
lot
much.
we can
There's
talk
a lot of trash to worry. Is there anything like too bad to worry about? I know it's easy trash. I just don't know. If it's...
The small skeleton smiths to the right do not pull them all at once, or will wipe their raid. So
Okay, so just be careful on pulling like usual. Okay. Vesuvius, I'll be talking to some priests early, and we're probably gonna have most of the two priests. This fight is carried by two priests. Hopefully two priests have their shit down, and I'm not gonna worry about it. But generally, range, you're gonna be staying at a range. Well, there's like this one corner you're gonna use, and when he does his little shout, you want to be out of line of sight, or else he'll pretty much just kill you if you use mana. Also, the understeadies, they'll be tanked by these targets. Pretty cool. I like that. And healers just be on the regular assignments. This might take a couple attempts. Also, don't have any pets out for the beginning of this fight. I'll be yelling that before, and no totems down, because he will aggro to totems and he'll aggro to pets. For some reason, he just does that. It's a thing he likes to do.
also to note that the cooldown for DBM for his shout is delayed, so you gotta tell the raid that as well.
Delayed, so it'll be late.
It will be late. It's like a cooldown kind of thing. It comes off a cooldown, but he uses it randomly when it's off cooldown.
Oh, so it's kind of like Twin Imps, the like switching back and forth. Okay, but
yes,
I'm assuming they'll want to like just hard sit back and wait until we say to get back and forward. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Gothic the Harvester. If we get to this point, this is probably the last boss we do for tonight. If we get to this point, it's be pretty impressive. I'd be very happy. I know you have the life side, you have the dead side. We have some assignments here. You can look through these real quick, but generally, you want, I think, most of the range on the life side and most of the melee on the dead side. We do have like assignments here for what we want to do, and we might improve upon these assignments so people know exactly where they would be going if we did have this. But generally, this fight seems pretty easy, except for sometimes the life side can get a little overwhelmed, so we might have to use a couple shackles. We might have to pop some coolies. When the actual boss comes down, I don't even know if there's a real mechanic other than he just goes back and forth. The trash is the real boss, right? And then if we get him down, perfect, good. Other things to note, we're taking a break every 2 hours. I said we're doing loot every hour and a half or after every quarter, whatever comes first. And hopefully we can just go from there. Does anyone have any questions? I don't really know what else to say for the rest of this meeting, so. Good. Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Sick, guys. Just a reminder, we're going to be starting raid at 7 p.m. Invites will start at 6. I'll be doing ats in here. Remember, we do have a buff train at 2 p.m. If you need to get buffs before, please do so. If you're backups, buffs are appreciated but not required.
How do I get in contact for the buff train thing?
Oh, so it's in this Discord. I'll probably at Raider during the day, but if you go up in the Discord, there's something called Buff Fillet Rules and Frequently Asked Questions. You can click on that, and you can assign yourself a role. It's kind of like how you assign yourself a role in this Discord as a Raider. But you just click that little cat, and it makes you a customer. Sweet, I saw you just probably did that. Cool. And then I'll at customers. Normally, if you didn't know, that Buff Fillet costs 50 gold. So that gets you, we start at ZG, we go to DMT, we usually have a couple IDs and summons ready to go right away. And then we do a Songflower, you get summoned out of DMT to a Songflower, we all bung rush a Songflower. And then we get you summoned safely to Ogrimmar, or we get you summoned safely to the fair. We do a deflag summon, so if you don't know what a deflag summon is, you have to run from the Portal Master to the flight path, either if you're in Undercity or Thunderbluff, and you either fly to Sepulture if you're in Undercity, or you fly to Ogrimmar, and then you log out immediately, and then that same raid, I will summon you to wherever we have to be. Usually, it's always Ogrimmar. You'll be deflagged immediately, so when you log back in, I'll summon you, and you'll be in the Ogrimmar bank, and you just log out. And then if we're doing DMF, we're gonna just summon you to DMF, and you can get that buff, and then I'll give you a port to Orgrimmar at the same time, and then you could just go on your way from there to Orgrimmar, and then wait for an Oni and a Ren that we'll do a double drop. We'll make sure everybody has their buffs before. Now, this is said before, is normally 50 gold, but for all the raiders, if you're bringing that character to this raid or you're a backup, I offer it for 25 gold per character. Well, for that character, right? If you bring other characters, it's actually 40 gold after that point if you bring a second character. But generally, it's really fast. Like, definitely less than an hour. Like, at the most wait time is a Songflower if we have like an awkward Songflower phase. We do try to keep this on the down low so Alliance don't like grief us, but it's usually at a pretty good time, 2 p.m. on a Sunday. It's pretty good. Yeah, the only reason I don't make it free for you guys, I would normally make it free for a raid, but I do have to pay the other people that help. It's basically just eating into. It's eating a lot of gold because I share completely with 3 other guys. Just make use of it if you're a raider. Okay, it's probably cheaper to do this rather than going out and getting all the world buffs on your own, unless you have connections or something. I don't know. Unless you don't care. Yeah. Any other questions about Bufflet?
What's the rotation again?
Oh, ZG, Dharmal Tribute, Songflower, Safe Summon to Org or Darkmoon Fair.
Okay.
And it's
That's my rotation.
It's every Sunday at 2 p.m. And so it's gonna be nice to be the same day. So you can get buffs on at 2 p.m. at 3 p.m. and then you'll be ready to raid by 7 p.m. So you don't even have to raid log for the whole week. But if it conveniences you, you're more than welcome to buff anywhere else or do your own thing. And I can't really do much outside my own time to help you, but just whatever it is, do what you have to do. Anyway, cool. I'm going to end this meeting right now. I thank you all for coming, and I'm going to be uploading this to YouTube ASAP.